We begin with breaking news. A massive earthquake off the coast of eastern Russia, one of the strongest ever recorded, has triggered widespread tsunami alerts in multiple countries, including here in Canada. These are the first images we're seeing of earthquake damage in Russia, a kindergarten classroom destroyed. And this is where the 8.8 magnitude quake struck just off this Russian peninsula. These are tsunami sirens sounding in the north of Japan. Officials are now urging people to evacuate coastal areas.
They're recommending everyone evacuate the beach. All lifeguards will be leaving at 5 p.m.
Hawaii is also under a tsunami warning. People there are also being told to get to higher ground. Alerts also stretch from Alaska all the way down to Chile and New Zealand. On the BC coast, these are the zones under tsunami advisories, which means strong currents are likely. The north and central coasts, the west coast of Vancouver Island, and the Juan de Fuca Strait, including Greater Victoria. Georgie Smythe is tracking the latest from Vancouver. Georgie, take us through the impact so far.
Yeah, let's start in Japan, where we're already starting to see some of the effects from that earthquake. We're hearing reports of waves being recorded in northern Hokkaido, in the northern part of the country. We're also seeing images of people sheltered in tall buildings, on the tops of buildings, and some workers at the Fukushima nuclear plant have been evacuated and moved to higher ground. Hundreds of kilometers of Japan's coastline is under an evacuation warning and tsunami alert. In Hawaii, we're hearing reports that tsunami sirens have been ringing out. In Honolulu, the Coast Guard there has ordered all boats in ports to move to deeper water to avoid any damage when that impact wave comes through. We've also heard from officials there. This is what they told us a short time ago.
Our number one priority is life safety. And so right now it's an easy thing. Get away from the beaches, get inland, and get upward.
Pay attention. This is real, and it's most serious. And if they happen to be watching, we don't have these events very often, but when we do, they're real and they're serious. So we just ask you to pay attention and do what you've been asked to do, and we're all going to hope for the best.
So in Hawaii, they're actually instructing people to stay more than a kilometre away from the shoreline just to be safe. In Russia, we're hearing reports of flooding in port towns and damages to buildings. We saw on the beginning of the introduction here, and warnings of a strong aftershock for weeks after this earthquake. Closer to home, we're hearing from communities up and down Vancouver Island tonight in and around those active tsunami zones. We've spoken to leaders in Masset and Haida Gwaii who tell us that they're ready to respond to any waves that hit. They're ready to evacuate if needed or shelter in place. And we've also spoken to leaders further south in Tofino, also ready to mobilize if the call comes down tonight. And just a reminder that these towns are quite remote. Some of them are accessible only by plane or by air, or one road in and one road out. So a very stressful night for some of those communities along BC tonight.
For sure. Georgie, thank you. Darius Madavi is also in Vancouver tonight, monitoring this very fluid situation. Walk us through when these tsunami waves may hit.
It really varies widely based on where you are. Now, tsunami waves can travel very quickly, as fast as a jet plane through the deep ocean, 800 kilometers per hour. But the Pacific Ocean is large, and so some places have already seen tsunami waves reach their coasts, whereas others, like Ecuador and Chile, couldn't feel those impacts for as much as a day, but they are still very much on the way and present. If you take a look at this map, you can see where we're expecting to potentially see some of those impacts. In red there, up around Alaska, those are places under a tsunami warning. In orange, those are tsunami advisories, and in purple, those are tsunami threats. So this isn't places where this group, the U.S. Tsunami Warning Center, issues warnings, but they are places that it is very much a potential threat. Now let's zoom in here on where we saw that earthquake, 8.8 magnitude, putting it at one of the strongest ever recorded, number 6, if that preliminary rating does hold. And if we zoom out here to Japan, you can see estimated wave height over 3 meters for those more northeastern sections of the island. Western and southern areas are a bit more protected, so not expecting to see as high waves there. Hawaii also estimated wave height over 3 meters with an estimated arrival at 9 p.m. But I have to emphasize, initial arrival doesn't mean that's when it ends. These waves can continue for hours or even days on end and just grow in strength. Here in BC, we also have pretty small estimated waves, but I do want to also mention in California, some places expecting to see waves up to 5 feet, 1.5 meters, and that could continue for over a day.